Welcome back to PSL Living. I'm Sarah Prohaska here at the Communications Department at the City of Port St. Lucie. April is Parkinson's Disease Awareness Month, and we want to shine a light on a special program this month that the City of Port St. Lucie's Parks and Recreation Department has started to help those who live in our community who are dealing with this disease. So I want to welcome Ann Stadius, and anyone who has visited one of our fitness centers at the City of Port St. Lucie probably has met or knows Ann. She is our fitness supervisor at the Parks and Recreation Department. Right. And Ann is based over at the Civic Center, but she's at both the Civic Center and our community center's fitness facilities. But Ann has been involved with a new program we have called Rock Steady Boxing. Right. And it is a really awesome program that started about earlier this year. Correct. To help those who live in our community who are dealing with Parkinson's disease. So, Ann, if you wouldn't mind giving us just a little bit of history about how we got Rock Steady into Port St. Lucie.
So about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, my fellow coach Steve Levy and I were working with some people independently, personal training. They were suffering from Parkinson's disease, and we were just searching for some way to help them progress or not lose ground, if you will. And we came across this program quite accidentally. We were looking, but we didn't know we were looking for it. Yeah. And we started practicing some of their principles, using it with these folks, and we saw a lot of progress. So we got really excited. We started working with more people. I mean, every single person we used these methods with, we saw benefits. They saw benefits. More importantly, they saw benefits. And so we started researching becoming coaches for the program, certified coaches. So, after a couple of years, proposals and budgets and the whole thing that goes through getting a new program of this together, this January, we were so excited to actually start classes, start the program. We did no advertising to start with other than we are an affiliate of Rock Steady Boxing. So we were listed on their website of new affiliates, and within the first 2 weeks we had 15 new people that wanted to come for this program. You have to go through an assessment process and determine. It's broken into different categories. So we currently have 2 classes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So the categories are PD 1 and 2 and PD 3 and 4. And we have about 16 to 20 in the first class, each class. And then the second class ranges from 5 or 6 to about, I think the highest we have in that class might be around 14. 12 or 14. We were concerned that we might have a seasonal drop-off, but we just keep filling in.
It's sad. It's good that this is available to them.
Well, statistics show that about 60,000 people new diagnosis, 60,000 a year. So, it's just growing, unfortunately.
All right. So what are some of the benefits of this program?
So it's a movement disorder disease. So forced intense training, there's nothing wrong with someone's muscles. You have to have a diagnosis of Parkinson's. This is the only thing that research shows it works for. It may work for other things, but we cannot. So you have to have a Parkinson's diagnosis from your doctor. We have the paperwork for that. So we can strengthen your muscles. There's no reason that you have to just sit and let your muscles get weak. So we strengthen your muscles. Boxing is intense, and cross-training causes one side of your brain to work harder because this side does this and that side does that, and now we're mixing it up.
So
making new pathways, I always say. And it's depressing. And so to be able to come in and people are going to push you, but they're going to pick you up and give you a hug when you fall down, and then we're going to push you again. It's just a great group of people. They have no give up in them.
That's wonderful. And another good thing, sort of a side benefit of this program, we found that people who are living with this disease are meeting new people who are living with this disease. So they're forming this kind of camaraderie in the community. And they didn't know each other before. So.
And even a more additional benefit to that is many of we call them cornermen, caretakers, if you will, meet others in the same situation. So you're affecting two sets of lives, the person with the disease and then the person or people living with the person with the disease. You know, and sometimes that even spurs them to get more physically fit, eat better, because everything goes together. Food, exercise, you know, it's physical, it's mental, it's emotional, it's community. It's like a little village.
Yeah.
It's great.
That is. It's such a wonderful opportunity that, thank goodness that you and Steve were able to find this locally for our residents, because like you said, you were already working on it, but this really gives you the structure and the dedicated time to it. So.
And we've already certified a third coach.
Oh, wonderful.
So now Maureen Marchand is our third coach. And most likely next year we'll have to be looking at possibly getting yet another coach. Word of mouth is spreading it so fast that we can't even imagine how a targeted advertising campaign.
You might be a little overwhelmed. But, so you were telling me a story about one of your very first participants.
Oh, yes.
Who came in a wheelchair. So tell me about her.
So I guess about 3 years ago, this lovely little lady, can I just say her first name?
Sure.
Carol. She was so sweet. She came in and she was quite affected. She was in a wheelchair, you know, kind of slumped over. She had some issues speaking. Brightest, bluest eyes you've ever seen. You could just know there was a spark in there. We started working with her. I was personal training her, and Steve and I were just like, what can we do? What can we do? We kind of came across some of the boxing was working with Parkinson's, and you know, long story short, after about 7 months she would box from the chair. We then got her to stand. We have a gait belt on her. We have her to stand, and she would hit the heavy bag. And hit is using the term very loosely, but it doesn't matter. Put the gloves on.
Exactly.
You know? After 7 months, she could make 2 laps around the fitness center.
Out of the wheelchair?
Out of the wheelchair. We would let her push her wheelchair to the car. She would push herself to the car.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, you have good days and bad days. Sometimes you need to take a break and sit, but she, you know, she just pushed herself, and she just went, and we were like, we have to do something else with this. We can't just be once and done. And more people came in and saw what we were doing and asked questions. So then we started getting more people just one-on-one, and it was like, well, we can't just ignore this. This is a thing.
It is, and it's So you found a really great way to help them.
And it was really important to us that we could try to do it through Parks and Rec, through the city. You know, keep it at an affordable cost. I mean, some of these programs are doing great things, but sometimes the cost is prohibitive. I mean, some of it can get pretty expensive, and we're lucky here that we have these opportunities. So let's offer them.
All right, wonderful. So if someone is watching this, would like to sign up or know someone who might benefit, how would they find out about this?
So they can call us at the program is held at the Civic Center. Like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So they can call the rec desk. I think the number is 807-4499.
We'll put the correct number on the screen.
Or they can call me. Either way, we will schedule an assessment time. It takes anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, depending on, you know, the person's abilities. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. That's just for us to determine should they be in the first class or the second class, kind of based on balance and ability to react and things, because it does slow their abilities down. The mind doesn't always slow down, but the ability for you or I to know they can't communicate as fast or move as fast or those things. So the assessment just tells us where to go, where to put them. They do have to have a diagnosis from a doctor. We will give you the paperwork for that. There's not tons of paperwork. There's some questionnaires because we want to know all we can know about you.
To help you.
And then it's just come have fun and let's hit some things.
Wonderful. Yeah, and I'm sure it helps get some of their frustration out too, and you know that's another benefit.
Oh, it is, because it's a frustrating disease. They know what they want to do, and they tell their brain to move their hand, but maybe it doesn't move like they want it to.
The way they want it to. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, Ann, thank you so much for coming on. We definitely just wanted to use April as a way to kind of highlight this great thing that we have going on. Because like you said, it's all sort of a word of mouth, and but we want as many people to know about it as possible, so they can benefit from it if they really, truly could benefit from it. So.
And we have a great team that wants to help these people.
Yeah, so no, and that definitely comes through. I can tell just talking to you that you're doing this out of passion for it. So
all of us, not just me.
Yeah, you said Maria and Steve.
Everybody.
All right. Well, thank you for taking time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
No problem. And we'll be right back after these messages.